Are you worried that your email marketing isn't performing as well as it could be? Well, I have JOANNE here today, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about email marketing, a little bit about storytelling, and answer a lot of your big ticket questions all about what to do with your email marketing. JOANNE, I'm going to invite you over here to introduce yourself, tell people why email marketing matters to you and why it should matter to them.
Hello. Thank you, Shauna, for the introduction. I am so glad to be here and I'm just so happy. I am Joanne Homestead. I'm the founder and owner of Desk Plant Creatives, and I am an email copywriter, copy coach, and an absolutely obsessed storyteller, which is what we're going to talk a lot about today is the storytelling piece. So I am a former teacher. I taught for 15 years as a school teacher. And what I did naturally as a teacher is exactly what I do now, which for a lot of people, they're like, where's the association? It's really figuring out like your audience. What do they need to hear? What do they already know? What is going to help compel and engage them? What story is going to help connect them so they want to own whatever action it is they're going to take? That's what I did as a teacher, and that's what I do now. And now it's just through written words, through email marketing, which I absolutely love too. So, storytelling plus email marketing, my two passions that I found on my online business is okay. What was your question? You asked like why email marketing, right? So I feel like email marketing, this is why I got into email marketing. I feel like email to me is a personal, intimate space. That's how it feels to me because for people to give you their email address to a business, that's a very personal piece of information that they're giving up is their email address. And so if they're going to give it to you, they want to hear from you. They want to be connected with you through email. And so it's just slightly different than like, okay, social media marketing versus email marketing. This is how I like to imagine it. Like social media marketing to me is a great place to also connect and sell your offers as a business. I imagine social media marketing like it's you're at the beach. It's a beach party. There's volleyball happening. There's like loud music blasting. It's great. It's fun. Everyone's having fun. You invite people there, you connect there. It's great. Email marketing, I like to imagine as like you've got your like beachfront property there, okay? And you're inviting someone into your house for like more of a intimate dinner party, but it's also like a full experience. Like in email marketing, you could really curate a beautiful experience for anyone who joins you in your email community. From the moment they step into that door, you can create an experience with your business and your brand all the way to here's your drink, here's we're going to have dinner at 6:30, have some appetizers here, let me introduce you to this little group here. Here now we're going to have some dinner. Like it's a full journey and it's guided throughout. Like when you host a dinner party, you're really guiding them from the door when they enter the door all the way to when they leave. So then, you have the dinner, you have the dessert,
It's
and then
actually
you have
kind
the
of
drink.
giving me vibes for my daughter's birthday party coming up. I'm
Yes.
I'm curating the entire night exactly like you're describing.
Yes.
But
Okay.
it's so effective because this is how you get people to and I just the reason why I want to talk about my daughter is because she's young, and when you have other guests come over to your home, it's a sleepover party too. PS, you need them to
Ooh.
follow a certain trajectory. And it's guided by them because it's all about them, right?
Hmm.
However,
Hmm.
our home still has rules. Our home still has expectations, and we still
Hmm.
want to guide them towards a certain type of action
Yes, and you
as we
have a
go through the
space.
night. Yes,
You have a
exactly.
space. They're in your space, so you want to have a certain feel for. And I like the way you said trajectory. It's like a trajectory from start to finish. And then, yes, like an action at the end, like, wow, I really loved having you here. Let's go grab a coffee, that
Yeah.
next week or something like that. Or if you feel like you already have built that relationship already, you can say, do you want to go on an epic adventure with me to the Amazon rainforest?
Yes.
But it depends on where you are in your relationship, obviously. You might
I
not
love
say that
that.
to
I
someone
love
new,
that.
but maybe you could. Who knows?
Absolutely. And so we were talking, about how there are so many different pieces that go into creating an effective email marketing campaign, and an email marketing strategy. Even like we can even go
Mhm,
over and above just a simple campaign, and talk about an overarching strategy. Many of the questions that you were mentioning came up were things about length of email, and click-through rates and open rates, and all the industry standards and comparisons and all of these things. And in the end, I mean, although these are very, very important questions, that will probably pop up throughout our conversation, we
mhm,
really hunker down on one main theme that can really boost the impact of your marketing, regardless of the rest of those things. And that was storytelling. So,
mhm,
why is storytelling and story brand marketing so integral to email marketing in particular?
mhm. So maybe we can start with the story brand. That's a great question. So you had mentioned Donald Miller's book about story brand. Um, and so maybe we could start there and then go into, okay, how does that connect to storytelling, specifically in email? So what I really love about StoryBrand is the shift in your role as the business owner or the brand. I think that's like the biggest piece because generally speaking, like as a business, as a brand, you're positioning yourself as the hero because you have the solution that your audience needs to help them, to save them because you're the hero, solve their problem. And what StoryBrand does is it's really shifting. And please, Shauna, just like pop in anytime about talking about this because I know you're
I
totally
love
into
it.
this
I'm just
too.
like, I'm lit
Yes,
up. I'm just sparking
yes,
here.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
let's keep going. But people get bored of my voice, so this is perfect. I can sit here and just gush over all the things you're saying that are right
That's
on
great.
point.
You've got like the perfect like your hand is like just like you're like yes this no
This is
perfect.
it's beautiful. I feel like so. I'm gonna let you continue your explanation, but I just wanted to let you
Hmm.
know that the thing that came to my mind is I've done this a few times, and I'll probably do it again soon because I just love doing it. Is I will create an entire post, and it's just the same sentence over and over again, and it looks like a block of text like this, and it
Uh-huh.
just says your client is the hero of their story, not you.
Yes,
Period. And it's just that over and over
yes,
again until it looks
yes.
like a block of text. And
Oh,
it
I love
just
that.
I just love it. I'm just like, yes, let's dive
Yes.
in.
Oh, we're totally on the same page here.
I love it.
Exactly. Yes, that is the block. Like shifting your role from the hero. The hero is your who you're helping, your clients. They are the hero of their own story, and you are the guide. So this is like a big shift. Like the reason why this is such a big shift is because to change the way you are speaking to your potential clients.
Especially
It's
in that
going,
intimate setting
yeah,
that is email marketing. When you're literally
right.
knocking on their inbox and
Hmm.
saying, "Hi friend, what's up?"
Yeah.
Really important shift.
And I love how the way you just said that, like very, very casually. And that's the other thing about emails, like having that, you can make it like really personal. I always get confused. Personal, personable,
Both. They mean two different
personal
things, but I
and
would argue
personable.
yes. That's it. And that's a really key part of switching gears there from being like when you're a hero, you talk in a different manner. This is like
Hmm.
this is the outdated this archaic patriarchal mumbo jumbo that we've seen in the past, which is very I mean, maybe it's a bold word, but maybe like propaganda-ish, right?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
very in your face. And switching to this alternate perspective, it is the it's been happening for a long time, but it is also the next wave of email progression.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, propagandish.
Propagandish. Yes. New word for
Propaganda.
Shauna.
That is the word right there. Yeah, yeah. It's not about creating FOMO. It's not about creating some frantic urgency to buy. So then people have buyer's remorse, and I have gotten that before. I have got sucked into that before, and afterwards I don't feel good. I'm like I didn't make the right decision because I felt like I was just like pushed in the crowd into this thing, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? Wait, what? What did I do? Why did I do that? It's about like the personal and personableness of email. It feels like you're just talking one on one with the person you're talking to. That is how it feels in email. Like you're just speaking, you may be speaking to, I don't know, thousands of people on your email list, but it feels like you're speaking directly to that one person in their email box. And that's like the personableness.
It truly is. And that's the concept of the story brand methodology. I mean, there's more to it. And we don't
Right.
necessarily need to dive in now. I'll include the link. I've got an amazing link, by the way. It's even open on my screen right now because I reference it all the time to my clients. And it's a link to a YouTube video that really describes that framework, Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand framework. I still encourage everybody to read that book because the book is
Hmm.
superb and it includes details that make me smile, things like Star Wars references and stuff like that.
Yes,
So,
Yoda.
right. So, I mean, you totally want to read the book too, but I can include that link so that you can dive in a little bit further. But what I want to do with you, Joanne, is just take that concept and then extrapolate it to the actual storytelling, the actual
Hmm.
implementation of like, what does this look like? And like within email form. And then
Hmm.
also like the further advantage of using this while connecting with your audience, whether it's a whether it's just like a broadcast or whether it's an actual like email marketing campaign with a web of interconnected sequences. Either way,
Yeah.
storytelling is important.
Yes.
Let's talk
Yes.
about how and why.
Yes. Yeah. The how and why. Ooh, we're getting really juicy here. So, storytelling to me is it's 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 like a vehicle to help your audience understand, like to teach them something, to help them reflect on something, to give them that moment like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way before, to help them see themselves differently, maybe see their community differently, maybe like on a bigger scale, like seeing globally differently. And that can,
Perspective.
yeah, the perspective, the reflection, the teaching, and that can happen through storytelling. And the reason I like to use storytelling is because it's compelling, it's engaging, it's so much more, I think, of a fun way to give your marketing content. So you can have your marketing content. You know maybe you have your like three marketing content pillars. This is these are the expertise that I talk about all the times. And now let's add the layer of storytelling into it, because that I feel like is how you really stand out, because you are unique, your business is unique, your offers are unique, and your stories are unique. And so that's going to help you stand out, because there's so many people in your industry. Why would someone come to you versus someone else? Through storytelling, you can help them make an informed decision to say, yes, I totally connect with you. So I want to say yes to your offers.
And what I'm hearing too, in between the lines, is that it adds a couple of other really interesting ingredients. I just made banana bread the other day, so I'm on baking.
Oh.
Um, and the other ingredients that I'm hearing that storytelling really helps with is personality, which is massive, right? And
Hmm.
emotions, right? We're stirring
Hmm.
up emotions.
Hmm.
Those differentiators, I feel like, with regards to this recipe business that's going on in my mind, is like my mom's banana bread is fabulous. She makes the best banana bread ever. And
Mm.
I go to her for banana bread. I'd be like, hey, mom, make me some banana bread. I know how to make banana bread. All right. And there are so many people around me who love my banana bread. But here's the
Hmm.
thing, like, I put cinnamon in my banana bread and maple syrup
Oh.
instead of like white sugar and whatever else she
Mm.
puts in it. I don't know what she does magic with hers. I love it. So I
Right,
think she
right,
cooks with
right.
like lard or something like that. It's like the old
I
school.
thought you were gonna say love.
Well, I mean, aren't those two the same thing? Come on. Everybody says put butter in it and it's good. That's a home cooked meal.
Lard and love. I feel like this could be a thing here.
Yeah, I feel like it probably already is. Isn't there like a somebody on the Food Network whose thing is butter? I don't know. Um,
There's something other like this
there's
the
gotta
whole
be.
salt fat acid thing there. Yes.
But my point being, my point being is that special, like the fact that I use maple and cinnamon makes my banana bread appealing to my right fit people, to the people who like
Hmm.
maple syrup and cinnamon. And so
Hmm.
they come for my banana bread because I do that. If I didn't do that, if I didn't sprinkle in my personality and add emotions, and it would just be banana bread that you could get at wherever, bulk food, plastic wrap
King Soopers
place.
here.
Right? So that's a whole different story. So when you're sending out the emails, you're going, no matter whether like the length or anything like that, you're going to increase your open rate, your click through rate, and your conversion rate, right? By
Mhm.
adding this element, this layer of storytelling. That's the difference between, this is just what I'm hearing. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like I'm hearing like you can have your pillars, and that's great. That's your banana bread that you can get.
Mhm.
Classic. Awesome. We love that.
Got the standard.
But the
Yep.
storytelling, which weaves in all these other fundamental attributes of your business, these different differentiators, that's
Hmm.
what makes the banana bread that you will go out of your way to get.
Yes. Exactly. You're making me hungry. Like banana
I do
bread.
that. I get hungry. I start talking about food, and then I make everybody else hungry. And then it's just like, all right, guys, you want to go out for some Thai food? Because I'm down.
I
Listen.
just love that. Okay, I love how you brought in the whole baking thing because I was writing my own email, my sales launch email sequence for my own email list, and one of the stories I was telling was um creating baking a tiered cake, which I
Ooh,
had never done before. It was my first time, and I was talking about the
you did
layers.
it.
I
You
did it, and
oh,
I felt like I was on like the Great British Baking Show because it's like so fancy. I mean, the only thing that I baked from scratch in my life is chocolate chip cookies, which is already like a huge thing. I'm like, look at me. I can, and I learned to do that after college when someone said, "You've never baked cookies from scratch before?" And I was like, should I have? Maybe I need to go into this. Anyways, I was talking about the layers of the cake
yeah,
and then connecting it to the layers of my copy coaching service and how it's all layers. So this is just a way to help like illustrate. It's just help another way like what you did there with the banana bread is like you're illustrating to help people understand like, oh, okay. I hadn't thought of it that way before. Like, oh, I
you did
get it
it
now.
too.
There's the connection. So that's I love saying like it's like a tuning fork, and when
Ooh,
you strike a tuning fork, it sends out the frequency. That's your story. It's sending out a frequency. And then I learned that if you have the same type of tuning fork and they're around each other, the one that you strike, that frequency, the other ones will pick up that same frequency and start sounding out that same frequency.
that's
And I
neat.
was like, whoa, that's totally like how I feel like about storytelling. It's like you're sending it out, and the people who are going to resonate with it are going to send back the same frequency. Like, oh, we're totally on the same level here. So that's another way where I feel like that's what storytelling in email does.
That's
And
beautiful.
I
That's
feel like that.
poetry.
See, poetry, like creative writing, is such a big thing. I feel like that creativity is something that I'm super passionate about in creative writing. And that's what good storytelling is. It's creative writing. And it's a skill that anyone can learn and you can build up. It's not like it's an innate ability like, oh, if I don't have it, I just can't do it. No, you can learn. There are skills, there are techniques. And that's what I love helping clients do is just helping them tell a good story through for their business.
And the combination too with with copywriting, because in email marketing, you really want to have a copywriter coming in to review some of the things that you're doing. But again, that's a learned skill as well. So when you combine storytelling and copywriting, like you are in just like such a good place to really connect with the people who matter most, is your right fit clients. And that's
Right.
why weaving that into your email marketing and connecting with them right at home, right in their inbox, in a way that's compelling and I keep on thinking of like synonyms: compelling, and riveting, and
Yeah.
engaging, and all these.
Captivating.
But it's true. It's
Yeah.
true, and it's also relatable.
Hmm.
So now you find this. It increases that grand poobah that is the no like trust factor. Um, I laugh at that
I
because
love the way you said that.
it's so overdone, but it's true. It is. It's true. That's why it's overdone. It is what it is. It is
It's
the
true.
grand poobah.
It's building. It's yeah. I mean, marketing is building relationships. That's just
Yes.
it's just put in a different lingo. Um, and what did sorry, what did you said something right before the no like trust that I was like, oh,
Oh, that's a
um,
great question. I don't know what. Let me tell you
no,
something. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth from one moment to the next. So to remember what actually came out is a
like what came out. I'm like, oh no, I know,
grand poobah,
I don't
making
remember.
connections, irresistible.
I like
Oh,
yeah, we're working backwards
it'll
here.
come back.
Yes,
It'll come back.
charisma,
It'll come back.
captivating. Yeah, yes.
We have so my next question is, and usually we'd close off a little bit close to now, but it's
Oh,
okay.
I
We're gonna
remember. Okay,
oh,
sorry.
go.
Okay, what you
Yes.
said about what you said about it's relatable. You said stories
Yes.
are relatable, and I think that one thing that brands are personal brands are afraid to do is get too specific with their details in their story because then they feel like it's not relatable. They want to keep it more generic and general
Mhm.
because they feel like if it's more generic and general, more people can relate to it. But actually, it's the opposite that is true. The more specific you can be with your story, the details in your story, like if you're talking about your coffee, talk about specifically what kind of coffee? Black coffee with a little cream, like whatever that is. If you're talking about some pop star, like name the person,
Taylor Swift.
name it down to the song because that's the part that's going to be relatable.
And the reason I said Taylor Swift is because that's what you're doing. Like that, Taylor Swift does that. And
Yes.
I've written,
Okay.
or I don't know if I think I've written a post about it, but it was inspired by another copywriter who wrote an amazing post that was better than my post about it. That just inspired me so much.
Yes.
She was
Yeah.
talking about how like Taylor Swift will write about the mini skirt and the red lipstick and the
Yeah.
whatever and all this stuff. And you might be that person who wears like a t-shirt and sneakers, but you still get it. Like you
Hmm.
still resonate with that mini skirt feeling. You still resonate with that. It may not
Hmm.
be exactly you, but you get it. It's
Yeah.
relatable. That
Right.
feeling of scorn in what is the my Better Than Revenge. My daughter's been singing that constantly. Better Than Revenge by Taylor Swift, like that scorn. Like you may not have ever like been in that, but you get it because she's
Right.
so detailed. She talks about
Yeah.
writing this other girl's name with things, and you're like, I've never written another woman's name with things, but you know what it means to
Yeah.
such a deep level that you can be like, oh damn.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It brings about some kind of emotional connection there. Because maybe it's not yeah, what you're saying is like maybe it's not me, but I understand that and that makes it that gives me some kind of emotional response for
And
that.
it's because of the details in the
Right.
storytelling.
Yeah.
And
That's what
that's
makes it
so if we're
relatable.
talking about how do we use brand story and store and just storytelling in general in email marketing, I feel like we've already if you guys see me doing this with my hands, and if you're on audio, I mean, I know you can't see me, but there's a little fly, so I'm not crazy, I promise. Well, I
It goes along with what you're saying, I feel like.
we're going like
It's just
this. We're
been
just making sure that a fly doesn't land on my head. Welcome to reality, folks. So my point being, we've already like throughout this conversation, we've gotten a lot of really gold nuggets in how to implement this and why to implement this in your email marketing and across the board.
mhm.
But I'd really like you to give, like, if you could, a final statement about your brand story, storytelling, and in particular email marketing, and how to really make sure that, like my first question was, because a lot of people worry about this, is your email marketing performing as it should, based on the efforts that you're putting in? Because I believe the ROI on email marketing right now is $40 for every $1 you spend for
Mhm.
2023, and that's a pretty amazing um, thing. But what if you're looking at your email marketing and you're like, well, I'm not doing that. Like, that is not me. We were talking about industry standards before, so maybe you can give us something about storytelling, something about email marketing, and something about your own your own success within that bubble as a final statement. And then, of course, let people know where to get in touch with you, because people should definitely get in touch with you.
Yes. I feel you're just like passing the mic over. I gotta like take it
That's
here
right.
and final statement
Ta-da!
time. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of people know like email marketing is such a big return on investment for your business. Like what you're saying, like it's like 1 to 4, which
That's
is
40 times. You get
yeah,
40 times ROI. That's huge.
it's huge. It's amazing. And the the thing with the email marketing is that for a lot of people, like they are comparing their business for their email marketing goals with like they're looking at the industry standards. Like people ask me a lot, what are the industry standards for open rates and click-through rates? And what I like to say is just you got to look at your own email metrics, and you're going to gauge your success from your numbers that you have, because the industry standards are for like these are the ones that they publish online for huge companies, and so it's not comparable in that way anyway. And the best way to know if your email marketing is working is to look at your own numbers, look at your open rates, look at your click through rates, and see over a few months' time, like you start using the storytelling. Do you notice more engagement? Do you notice more conversion? Like people are clicking on a link that you send them to other content or things like that. So I really like to tell clients like look at where you're at and make your goals from that, instead of trying to find other standards that aren't going to fit you and your business, your lifestyle, the capacity you have to be writing emails for your own business. So there's the email marketing part. Okay,
Perfect.
final
Love it.
thoughts on the storytelling is um, storytelling for people who aren't feel like they're just not like natural at it. They kind of like go into like the education mode. There's like they teach and they teach. If you want to start using storytelling in email, what I would do is just start gathering stories in your life. That's what I do. Like, and the some of the best ones are like there's so many different stories you can tell. Like your origin story. How did you get to where you are right now? A story where you've made a mistake. We are
Mm,
all humans. That happens. It could be like a more like a pop culture story or a legend story, like what we've talked about with Taylor Swift, like bringing up some kind of pop culture reference and tell a story around that people can resonate around. But my favorite story is like the everyday story. It's the everyday story, which is like I tell a story about trying to get the fitted bed sheet onto my mattress. It is the most frustrating thing in the world. I don't know. It shrinks every time it goes into the laundry. I'm not sure what happens. But you get one corner on, and the other corner on the other side pops off. And this story is an everyday story. And what I did with this story is I connected to this is what it feels like when you're trying to write to your email list and you don't have a vision for your email. You don't even know quite what the purpose you're doing in email is. Obviously, you want to get clients, but you got to get like really specific on what is the purpose of your email? What's the vision you've set? And that way, when you're writing, that's like your North Star. It's not going to feel like putting that bed sheet on every time you're trying to write an email. So, if you want to learn more about storytelling, I do have a free guide. It's on my website. at deskplantcreatives.com, but also you can see it here on the banner and then in the show notes too. It's 3 simple steps to irresistibly entertaining emails that sell. And basically, it's a guide that helps you go go from what is the story you're telling, how to segue into talking about what it is for your business. And so you can find that in the show notes or on my website.
That's
Did
awesome.
I
I
get everything
love
down?
that. You absolutely did. You
Okay.
absolutely did. So I'm going to challenge everyone here to look at their analytics today. Okay, I'm not even today. Look at your email analytics. Take note. Implement the tips that we shared today. Implement the tips progressively that you're learning through the free guide that JOANNE has to offer. And then keep track of those analytics. Keep track of what those are looking like and use that as your business standard and keep improving from there. Do not hesitate to reach out to JOANNE with any questions or considerations. And of course, I'm here too. Now, if you really love this episode, make sure you give it 2 thumbs up, leave a comment to continue the conversation, and subscribe so that you can catch the next episode. We have weekly episodes and more, so you definitely want to be on the ball for that. With that, I'm going to thank JOANNE so much for joining me today, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much, Shauna.
This was